Have you ever imagined walking calmly through your city, following the same old path until something strange happens? Suddenly you find an unknown street, a street you've never seen before, but it looks like it's been there for a long time. Old houses, worn sidewalks, even people living there acting like everything is completely normal. But when you look on maps, in records, and even ask other people, the answer is always the same. This street never existed. What would you do if you had an experience like that? Today, you'll learn about the story and the ideas behind the street that never existed. One of the most puzzling mysteries that challenges logic, reason, and even how we understand reality itself. The idea of vanished streets and places isn't new. Throughout history, many tales tell of mysterious streets that appear and disappear, as if they were group illusions or echoes from other realities. In London, there's a legend of an alley that only shows up on foggy nights and leads travelers to a shadowy version of the city. In Japan, there are stories of people who walked into busy, bustling streets but could never find them again. Even in Brazil, there are stories of ghost roads and mysterious alleys that only appear to some people and then disappear shortly after. What all these stories have in common is how detailed they are, as if they really existed for a few moments before fading into nothing. But can science explain this? Some experts believe that streets like these might be due to mistakes in how we see things. The human brain, when trying to fill in memory gaps, can create whole scenes that seem real. This is called mental construction and can lead to false but very convincing memories. Others support the idea of parallel realities, entire universes existing alongside ours, separated only by a thin, invisible wall. In this case, finding a street that doesn't exist could be the result of a brief glitch in that boundary, as if for a few minutes we had access to a world that isn't our own. And it doesn't stop there. There are also supernatural theories, which say that these streets are signs of spirits, haunted places, or even gateways to unknown dimensions. There are stories of people who entered such streets and felt strange things. A deep silence, the feeling of being watched, sudden temperature changes, and even difficulty leaving the place as if the street trapped anyone who dared to explore it. Many believe that by going into these places, a person risks never finding their way back, disappearing forever in a place that shouldn't exist. One of the most famous cases happened in France, when a group of tourists reported finding a small street with old buildings that seemed stuck in time. They took pictures, talked to residents dressed as if they were in another century, and returned to their hotel amazed by the discovery. But when they tried to go back the next day, they found nothing. The place had simply disappeared. The photos taken during the walk showed only empty fields, no street, no houses, and no sign of life. This case was so shocking that it still puzzles researchers today and remains unexplained. Now think with me, what if space and time aren't as fixed as we think? Imagine that every street, every corner, every detail of the city is like a file on a computer. Sometimes one of those files can glitch, get corrupted, or even show information that should be hidden. Maybe the streets that never existed are exactly that, glitches in the system of reality, showing places from alternate versions of our world. The idea seems like something out of a science fiction movie, but at the same time, the more we study the universe, the more we realize that we still know very little about how it really works. The scariest thing is that these stories don't just come from travelers or curious people. There are police officers, taxi drivers, teachers, and even soldiers who swear they've seen entire streets disappear before their eyes. Some say they entered a busy street, but when they came back, they found only empty lots. Others say that people who went into those places were never seen again. This brings up an unavoidable question. Do these streets really exist on some level? Or are we dealing with group illusions powerful enough to trick several people at the same time? And it's precisely that doubt that keeps the mystery alive to this day. Because if these streets don't exist, why do so many people in different parts of the world report such similar experiences? And if they really do exist, why do they disappear without a trace? The fear, fascination, and suspense around these stories only grow over time, because every new story seems to confirm that there's something much bigger than we can understand. Now I ask you a question. If one day you're walking and you find an unknown street, a street that isn't on any map and no one else seems to know about, would you be brave enough to go in? Or would you turn your back without looking behind you? The truth is, the street that never existed might be closer than you think, hidden behind a corner you never noticed, waiting for the right moment to show itself. And remember, reality isn't always as solid as we think. Sometimes, what seems impossible can be right before our eyes. The street that never existed might just be an urban legend, or it could be proof that our world holds secrets much deeper than we dare to imagine.